I'm Neil Mackenzie and you're watching Boxing Domination.
I'm Pagan and you're watching Boxing Domination.
It's Mohim for Boxing Domination, and today I'm here with Pagan, the Pagan Army, who's just won his 9th professional boxing match at York Hall, Bethnal Green. How are you, Davis?
No, very well, thank you. Just over the moon and just get back the winning ways and get through that.
Yeah, so obviously your opponent today was a very tough opponent for 4 rounds. How was it to get back in the ring and have your fight following your previous loss against Jan Balog?
Yeah, no, obviously you have sort of like a bit of mental demons and stuff. Like it's the first time amateur or professional that's sort of ever happened to me. So I just want to prove I've got, like saying, prove I've got balls and jump straight back, get back into winning ways, and just keep like a strong mental attitude. I thought just that to win tonight. So I just want to keep nice and composed.
Many fighters they seem to quit after their very first fight, their very first loss as a professional. How was it for you to get back? I know you've had your first loss, I think it was in your 2nd professional fight? Third professional fight. So how was it for you to get back mentally and physically?
I think it's all the experience, and I say my first defeat I felt was a bit more unjust and a bit more controversial. Yeah. But I say the second one, I just thought, no, do you know what? I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to shy. I want to man up and think, no, I'm getting back in there. I wanted the rematch. Still want the rematch, but he won't take it. So I thought, well, if I can't take it, nothing more I can do. I wanted the rematch, but we'll move on. At the end of the day, I know if I just keep believing in myself, I know it'll all come good eventually.
Yeah, the crowd was very supportive. They were very loud today for you. How is it to have so much supporters behind your back? Is there any pressure?
It's always, I think, to be honest with you, I think I put more pressure on myself more than what they do. I'm very, very, very blessed and very lucky to have such people behind me and supporting it. It gets all emotional. No, honestly, no, I'm very grateful for everyone coming, but I just put more pressure on myself, and sometimes maybe I think things just need to relax a little bit more. Yeah. I know I've got the ability to win a Southern Area title without a shadow of a doubt. So there's no pressure on them. If anything, I'm very grateful for them behind me. It gives me that extra gear in training to know that I can put on a good show. And
also, before the Jan Balog fight, you were actually aiming for an English title fight, right?
Do you know what? I heard quite a few people mention my name about it. I didn't know anything about it, if I'm personally honest. I see a few Twitters, few Instagrams. I was getting people messaging me. I was like, well, I don't know about it. Don't get me wrong, great. I'm fantastic. Do you know what I mean? I'm like say English title. Wow, that's what you put a pair of gloves on for. You want to win the titles. So I know there was talk of a Southern Area title, and there was, which was more realistic. And I spoke about that, but the English title I think was just more circulated rumours from thinking. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have turned it down.
So are you aiming for Southern Area or English title later on this year?
Million%, yeah, million%. I just want to keep nice and busy, keep my mind on the job, and I know where I went wrong, and I've redirected my mindset now, and this is there going to be no more slip-ups. I mean, I've rectified everything that was going on around me, and I've got a good team, very supportive and a good team, and I'm very thankful for them for sticking by me and remaining loyal.
Fight fans, I'm so sorry for that. My video actually just cut off. And apologies to the champ right here, Pagan, who's 9-2 as a professional and made his outstanding comeback in a unanimous 4-round decision. I'm sorry for that, Davis.
No worries yourself.
So, as we were saying, you're fighting on April the 20th at Watford. No, not Watford.
Lee Valley.
Lee Valley. So, how can they get the tickets?
I've got them with me now, and I usually. My wife or a few of my friends deliver tickets as well around to people, which I'm very grateful for. Massive help, because it is a nightmare. Why are you trying to fit in training? I do a little bit of personal training myself as well. Yeah. So trying to fit in, trying to drop off tickets and everything. So it is hard work, but I've got a good help with me.
Yeah, and also you've got a great T-shirt right here. Pagan Army, where can they get the T-shirts, and where did the Pagan Army come from?
It was started off, I think it's my rematch for Sonny Whiting, and obviously I had a few of my football friends come over, and next bit I started shouting out Pagan Army, and then it sort of like just stuck. So I was like, oh, no, sort of like had a bit of a brand and stuff. And so if anyone wants a Pagan Oval t-shirt, let me know. £10.
Also, Linus Adofia actually fights on March the 2nd.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah, nice, yeah.
Yeah, so Linus actually fighting for the Southern Area title against...
He's going to fight Taylor Jones, wasn't
he was meant to fight Taylor Jones, but Taylor pulled out and vacated the title. So, somewhere near the future, are you possibly aiming for a catch weight with Linus?
Yeah, I'm a light middleweight. I'm a light middleweight naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, I fought a middleweight today, so anyone that's super, like middle, super welterweight. So super welterweight's my division.
Yeah.
It's only today I heard the opponent was coming in heavy, so I weighed in at middleweight. But I'm naturally a super welterweight. So anyone really, I know Joshua Jacobi and Sean Robinson are fighting for the vacant title. I think is that the second? Or they're fighting soon for it. So later on, let me get back to winning ways. Make sure I'm lucky there, because when I'm ready for this title, that title's coming over for me. So I'm not going to rush anything, but I will be aiming for a Southern Area title or a title of some description by the end of the year.
Yeah. So what's it like to be fighting at the home of British boxing, Liverpool and Bethnal Green?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so historical and stuff, and I think my family originate from the East End as well. So, and my granddad used to tell me stories about York Hall, and just when you walk in, you've got the likes of, like Lennox Lewis, Nigel Benn, all the greats, Andy Joshua, all the greats that fought in here, and I'm very lucky to have experiences.
And also, I don't want to bombard you with too many questions, but obviously you've been with your coach CJ Hussain from the amateurs. What's the transition been like from an amateur to pro without switching teams?
To be fair, I trained with St Pancras for three or 4 years as an amateur, but then they closed down to have a revamp with the gym. So I went to a couple of other clubs after that, but then my heart was always with CJ. I didn't leave on him on bad terms. I left because I wanted to box. I was doing nothing. But CJ, I mean, it's good to know CJ. I've known him for years now, and I know he's got my interests at heart, and I trust him with everything. And so, but it was a hard transition for me personally, because you've got to maybe sit down a little bit more. I was a lot more counter puncher. Now you've got to sit down on your shots. Some people more adapted to the programs than the amateurs. But now I'm finding my feet now. So world's yours to say.
So as an amateur, I'm guessing you've had many fights. So exactly how many fights have you had as an amateur? As you remember?
About 60, I think. Yeah.
60 fights?
I had about 60, yeah.
So obviously a lot of fighters, they seem to have a long amateur career and a short professional career. I'm guessing you're going to go all the way. So what's your final aim in boxing? What's the final thing you're trying to capture?
When I was a kid, I started boxing at the age of 9, and I always wanted to win a title as a professional. So obviously I take every fight that comes, but I will not be satisfied until I've won a title as a professional fighter.
Yeah.
So whether it albeit Southern Area, English, I mean obviously the British, mate, for me that's the daddy. Look at the belt and stuff. That's the daddy. That is what I dreamed of. That British title, the Lonsdale belt. I mean, I'm sure every fighter says that they want that on their mantelpiece. Yeah. But like I say, I'm striving for a Southern Area title, English title, and then that's my top one. That's my top priority. Anything else is much more of a bonus. But
so I've spoken to Linus Adofia quite recently on the phone, and we spoke about former super lightweight world title challenger Ashley Thiopain, actually for Adrian Broner 2 years ago. He's actually moved up to your weight division, but he's at 160. Is that a fight you would possibly aim at? He's a big name in the UK, but he's coming to the end of his career sometime soon?
Something, yeah. So like I say, I'll get back to in a way of like I say, you're challenging yourself, and with names like that on your resume, what a great name to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, million percent. So mate, later on in the year and stuff, like I said, that's the direction I want to be heading in.
Yeah. So last year, I'm guessing we've had about 3 professional fights. Last year in 2018.
I only had 2. I was
2 professional.
Yeah, I was injury plagued, and everything just went wrong last year.
So what's the aim of fights? Since you've had your first fight on February 16th now, how many more are you planning to have for further?
I want another three or four fights this year.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like I say, selling tickets is hard, and people with their, I mean, they're hard earned cash and coming to support me. Do you know, I feel like, oh God, old days. I know they're supportive, but in my head I'm thinking, oh God, but they've got to fork out another 40 or 65 quid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty.
Trying to get more boxing fans into it.
Yeah, I just feel guilty on them. But like I say, as long as you're having a good night and I'll keep busy. As long as I'm boring.
And also, Robbie Chapman quite recently said, it's not only Robbie Chapman, but also Sean Murphy, former trainer of Anthony Joshua, part of the Mason Smith coach. He said a lot of fighters in Britain, if they didn't sell tickets, they don't get paid.
No.
Is that the way?
1,000,000%. And yeah, 1,000,000%.
So exactly how does that work?
You have to sell, like for instance, the day was at like 4-rounder, so you have to sell. They pay £1,200, so you've got to sell £1,200.
You pay £1,200 in advance, or
you go through the ticket money. So you've got to sell the ticket money. So £1,200 for £1,000 a house. So it's £2,200 before I get anything. Okay. So and then you get, I think, up to 1,100, I think it is, and then everything after that's 50-50. But I had a very vocal and I was very grateful for it. But I didn't do too great this time. February's always hard. Do you know, I mean, Christmas time, January's a very long month for people. But I just knew I had to get out there. I just had to swallow not making no money on this and get back to winning ways.
Obviously, I think I've asked you a lot of questions now. It's been about 10 minutes of the interview. Main event, Jez Smith versus Sam Antwi. Who are you rooting for?
Jez Smith. Like I say, I've seen him a few times in the amateurs and that. Like, he's a good kid, and I believe he'll do it tonight. And so I want to wish both fighters. God bless both fighters. That they get out safely. But
it's happened for the first time. My video actually cut twice back to back. So I'm actually here with the nicest boxer in Britain, and he just wants to, give a shout out to the sponsors. Stage is yours.
I just want to thank Barry Exton at Sleaford Building Services. I want to thank Peter Moore at City Electric. I'd like to thank Jamie Osborne at Essex Tree Care. I'd like to thank Dougal Maria McGregor at Mr Power. And also, last and definitely not least, Casalina Burrows at Casalina's Mind Management. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for me. I really am grateful.
Thank you very much, Davis, and we shall see you very soon at St Pancras Boxing Club.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.